As we journey through the seasons of life, old age arrives not as an enemy, but as a silent teacher, inviting us to slow down, to observe, and to reflect. In the Buddhist tradition, aging is neither feared nor resisted, but seen as a natural and inevitable part of our samsaric existence, a chance to deepen our understanding, cultivate inner peace, and prepare for liberation. The teachings of the Buddha remind us that life, in all its stages, is impermanent. Yet within this impermanence lies a quiet beauty, a call to awaken to what truly matters. In today's video, we will explore the 5 essential things one should never lack in old age, through the lens of Buddhist wisdom. These are not material possessions, nor external validations, but inner resources and mindful practices that guide us toward a peaceful, meaningful, and fulfilling life. Each section is rooted in traditional Buddhist teachings and crafted for those seeking emotional clarity, spiritual growth, and lasting serenity. Whether you are stepping into your elder years or supporting a loved one who is, these insights will serve as a gentle guide. We will reflect on the importance of maintaining good health and a strong mind, the role of financial stability in supporting peace of mind, the nurturing of family bonds, the spiritual nourishment of meaningful friendships, and the life-affirming power of purpose. These 5 elements, when understood and cultivated with mindfulness and non-attachment, become the foundations of aging with grace. Let us now reflect upon the first essential foundation of a fulfilling life in old age: how to maintain good health and a strong mind as you age. In the teachings of the Buddha, the body is not a source of vanity but a sacred vehicle for awakening. It is through this body and mind that one can practice mindfulness, cultivate compassion, and attain liberation from suffering. Therefore, caring for one's health is not an act of self-indulgence but a form of spiritual responsibility. As the body ages, it naturally undergoes changes. Bones weaken, energy wanes, memory may fade, but these are not reasons to despair. Instead, they serve as reminders of impermanence, encouraging us to live more mindfully in the present. To care for the aging body with wisdom, one must begin with right nourishment. Choose foods that are simple, fresh, and supportive of vitality, such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and clean water. Overeating and consuming processed or overly rich foods burdens the body and clouds the mind. The Buddha advised moderation in all things, and this includes eating only until one is satisfied, not full. Regular movement is also key, not strenuous exercise, but gentle activity that promotes flexibility, circulation, and mental alertness. Daily walking, mindful stretching, or basic yoga can support both physical health and spiritual well-being. Walking meditation, in particular, is a powerful practice that unites movement with mindfulness, allowing each step to become a reflection of inner peace. Alongside physical care, mental clarity must be cultivated with equal attention. The aging mind often encounters waves of regret, grief, fear, or loneliness, but it also has the capacity for deep wisdom and calm observation. The practice of daily meditation, even for just 10 minutes, strengthens awareness and soothes anxiety. One does not need to silence the mind completely but rather learn to sit with it, breathing gently and watching thoughts arise and pass without clinging or resistance. This is the path of non-attachment, a central principle of Buddhist wisdom, which teaches us that suffering does not come from aging itself but from the craving for youth, control, or permanence. By letting go of these illusions, one finds peace of mind. Sleep, too, becomes more sacred with age. Rest should be embraced as a form of healing, not idleness. Create an evening routine that supports restful sleep, avoid screens, noise, and heavy meals before bed, read the Dhammapada or listen to peaceful chanting, and enter sleep with gratitude rather than worry. Clean and declutter your living space, as external simplicity supports inner stillness. Engage your mind not with constant stimulation, but with meaningful reflection. Reading, writing, chanting, or listening to Dharma talks can nourish the intellect and keep the mind engaged in spiritual growth. Surround yourself with silence, nature, and beauty. These are natural allies of clarity and peace. Practice gratitude each day by reflecting on what remains rather than what is lost. See your hands, your breath, your capacity to love and observe as blessings. Connect with others when possible, but do not depend on them for happiness. Learn how to be happy alone, recognizing that solitude in old age can be a doorway to deeper self-awareness. Let go of comparisons with others or with your younger self. Comparison leads only to restlessness. Instead, honor the present moment, where the seeds of wisdom grow. The Buddha often reminded his followers that the goal is not to escape old age, but to meet it with understanding and equanimity. Cultivate spiritual routines that are steady and gentle, a morning chant, an evening reflection, a moment of silence before meals. These rituals strengthen both body and mind and provide a rhythm of calm amidst the changing conditions of aging. Speak kindly to yourself, avoiding harsh judgments or self-pity. Understand that aging is a natural unfolding, not a failure. By embracing impermanence, you deepen your spiritual maturity and prepare the mind for freedom. Maintaining good health and a strong mind as you age is not about resisting the natural course of life but about moving through it with dignity, balance, and mindfulness. When you live each day with awareness, compassion, and discipline, you discover that aging with grace is possible, and that peace of mind is not something distant, but always available, here and now, in this breath, on this path, through this body and this precious moment of being alive. Now that we've reflected on the importance of maintaining good health and a strong mind in old age, let us gently move to the second essential element for a fulfilling life: why financial stability is crucial for peace of mind. While the Buddha taught us the art of non-attachment, he also encouraged wise living, right livelihood, right effort, and right understanding, which includes the mindful management of resources. Money itself is not evil or impure. It is our craving and clinging to it that causes suffering. When used skillfully, wealth becomes a tool to reduce stress, offer support to others, and live with dignity. To understand this more clearly, consider the story of Margaret, a retired school librarian in Ohio. At 67, Margaret lived alone after her husband passed away, and for many years, she struggled with anxiety over her finances. She had a modest pension and small savings, but no clear plan. As bills accumulated and medical costs grew, she found herself waking at night, unable to sleep, overwhelmed by fear of not having enough. She skipped doctor appointments, declined invitations with friends, and felt herself withdrawing. One day, she stumbled upon a local Buddhist meditation group and started attending weekly sessions. The teachings emphasized mindfulness, gratitude, and acceptance, but also practicality. Inspired, she began applying mindfulness to her finances. She listed her expenses, created a simple monthly budget, and downsized her home. She let go of unnecessary spending and discovered joy in simple pleasures: library books, home-cooked meals, walking in nature. Over time, her anxiety began to lessen. She found peace not through wealth, but through clarity. As her financial life became more stable, her mind grew calmer, her heart more open. Today, Margaret lives simply but joyfully, supporting local charities and practicing generosity as a way of letting go. Her story is not about becoming rich, it is about becoming free. This is the essence of Buddhist wisdom: to live without fear, one must live with intention. In old age, financial worries can silently erode inner peace, making even quiet moments feel heavy. Therefore, achieving basic financial stability becomes an act of compassion toward oneself. It is not about chasing riches, but about removing the mental burdens caused by uncertainty and disorganization. The Buddha encouraged householders to save wisely, avoid debt, and live within their means. Simple teachings such as, "Contentment is the greatest wealth," remind us that peace of mind comes not from excess, but from understanding our true needs. Begin by examining your daily expenses. Are there habits or patterns that drain your resources without adding joy or meaning? Mindfulness teaches us to be present even in small actions. Choosing what to buy, when to spend, and how to save becomes a spiritual practice. For elders, especially those living alone or with limited income, simplicity becomes strength. Reducing clutter, downsizing homes, or avoiding impulsive purchases allows space not just in our homes, but in our minds. Build a modest emergency fund, review healthcare options, and consider discussing financial plans with a trusted advisor or loved one. This clarity offers more than security, it creates emotional ease. The goal is not to fear the future, but to meet it with awareness and grace. Practicing generosity also plays a vital role. When you share what you have, no matter how little, with wisdom and love, you let go of attachment and cultivate merit. The Buddha praised the lay followers who gave without expectation, for such acts purify the mind. Aging with grace means not only caring for your own needs but contributing to the world with whatever means you have. Whether it is offering food to a neighbor, donating to a temple, or simply being present for a friend, financial stability empowers you to live with purpose. Let go of shame or guilt about past financial mistakes. Every moment is new, and peace of mind is always available when we choose mindfulness over fear. In the end, spiritual growth is not separate from daily life, it is found in how we manage our time, our thoughts, and our resources. With non-attachment, wisdom, and gentle discipline, even limited finances can support a life of freedom, dignity, and deep inner peace. Having gently explored the necessity of good health and financial stability, we now turn to the third essential element of a fulfilling life, the importance of family bonds and how to nurture them. In the teachings of the Buddha, the family is not only a foundation of worldly life but also a vital space for cultivating compassion, patience, and moral integrity. Our relationships within the home, between parents and children, spouses, siblings, and elders, are opportunities to practice loving kindness, right speech, and right action. As we age, the presence or absence of these bonds can deeply affect our emotional well-being and spiritual growth. A harmonious family life is not achieved by chance, it is nurtured through mindfulness, consistent effort, and sincere communication. The Buddha emphasized respect as a cornerstone of these relationships. Children should honor and care for their parents, and in return, parents must guide their children with wisdom and love. Mutual respect creates the fertile ground upon which affection can flourish. In our later years, we often reflect on these bonds with either peace or regret. Therefore, it becomes essential to practice forgiveness, gratitude, and open-hearted dialogue before time passes us by. Nurturing family ties also means setting aside ego, listening deeply without judgment, and being present even in silence. The Eightfold Path teaches us that right intention and right speech go hand in hand. Harsh words can leave wounds, while gentle words can heal old pain. Simple acts, sharing a meal, offering a kind gesture, or expressing thanks, have the power to restore broken connections and deepen existing ones. Mindful presence is more valuable than material gifts. To truly listen, to be available without distraction, is to offer something sacred. As the years pass, misunderstandings may accumulate, but Buddhist wisdom encourages us to see beyond blame and grasp the impermanence of emotions. Holding on to resentment only deepens suffering, whereas letting go brings lightness and peace of mind. This is not weakness, but strength guided by wisdom. To maintain close family ties, it's also helpful to let go of expectations and accept each person's path with equanimity. Not all families will be emotionally expressive, and not all wounds heal quickly, but a single act of understanding can shift the energy of a household. Even if others do not change, your practice of compassion will transform your own heart and uplift the space around you. Aging with grace includes reaching out without pride, apologizing when needed, and offering love without conditions. In the Dharma, this is the highest form of generosity, to give peace. Just as the roots of a tree nourish its branches, so too do strong family connections support us in times of need, providing comfort, laughter, and a sense of belonging. As we grow older, let us not retreat in silence, but engage with warmth, intention, and mindful care. A family held together by compassion becomes not just a source of support, but a temple of spiritual growth and lasting inner peace. Having gently explored the importance of family, we now come to the fourth key element of living a fulfilling and peaceful life in old age: how meaningful friendships keep the soul alive and prevent loneliness. While family often offers familiarity and duty, friendships are chosen bonds of the heart that bring joy, connection, and a sense of belonging beyond bloodlines. In the Buddhist teachings, spiritual companionship, or kalyamita, is considered essential on the path to liberation. The Blessed One once told his disciple Ananda, "Admirable friendship, admirable companionship, admirable camaraderie is actually the whole of the holy life." This reflects the deep truth that we do not walk the path alone. A good friend supports our growth, reminds us of truth, and shares in both joy and sorrow. In aging, when physical limitations or the loss of loved ones can bring emotional isolation, such friendships become spiritual nourishment. Consider the story of Tom, a 71-year-old Vietnam veteran living in a quiet neighborhood in Oregon. After his wife passed away and his children moved across the country, Tom found his world shrinking. Days blurred together, and silence filled the house. He tried watching TV, reading, and walking, but the loneliness sat heavy in his chest. One afternoon, he decided to visit the community center after seeing a flyer for a seniors book club. With hesitation, he entered the room, and everything began to shift. The group, though small, was full of diverse, kind-hearted people who welcomed him warmly. Over time, Tom formed close bonds with two others, Helen and Marcus, both widowed and navigating similar paths. They began to meet weekly outside of the club for coffee and long walks. Their conversations weren't just about books, they spoke of grief, resilience, laughter, and the small joys of life. Tom later shared that this connection didn't just bring him companionship, it brought him back to life. Through this friendship, his sense of purpose returned. He started volunteering at the center, rediscovered old hobbies, and felt emotionally lighter. This transformation illustrates the power of meaningful friendships. They are not merely social ties, they are lifelines for the soul, especially in later years. As taught in Buddhist wisdom, the Sangha, the community, is one of the three jewels. This does not only refer to monks and nuns, but also to anyone who walks beside us with compassion, mindfulness, and shared aspiration. A true friend listens without judgment, speaks with kindness, and offers support without conditions. Such a presence calms the mind, strengthens the heart, and gently eases the fear of growing old alone. To cultivate such friendships, we must first be willing to reach out. In a world that often isolates the elderly, it requires courage to open up and be seen. Start by engaging in small ways, join a meditation group, volunteer, attend community events, or simply make an effort to connect with an old acquaintance. Friendship is not built overnight, it grows through patience, shared experiences, and mutual care. Practice mindfulness in your interactions, listen deeply, speak truthfully, and be present. Offer your time without expecting anything in return. Let go of the idea that you must always be interesting or entertaining. Often, quiet companionship is enough. Forgive the flaws of others as you would your own. And just as the Buddha encouraged compassion, be a safe space for others to express themselves. In return, you'll find your own soul expanding. Loneliness fades when we no longer feel invisible, and friendship restores the simple joy of being understood. Especially in old age, these bonds don't just make life easier, they make it beautiful. They become reminders that we are still growing, still capable of love, laughter, and deep connection. As you continue your journey of aging with grace, may you remember that friendship is not a luxury, but a spiritual necessity, a mirror that reflects our best self, a light that brightens even the quietest days, and a path to lasting inner peace. We now come to the fifth and final aspect of a fulfilling and peaceful life in old age, the power of a sense of purpose in living a fulfilling life. As the body ages and the roles we once held, parent, worker, provider, begin to fade, it is common for people to question their relevance and meaning. Yet from the Buddhist perspective, our true worth is never tied to what we produce, but to how mindfully and compassionately we live. The Buddha taught that right intention and right effort are part of the Eightfold Path, reminding us that inner peace and liberation come from the direction of our heart and the clarity of our mind. A clear sense of purpose gives structure to our days and meaning to our experiences, whether we are serving others, creating beauty, or simply cultivating awareness and kindness. Purpose does not have to be grand. It can be as simple as caring for a plant, mentoring a younger person, practicing daily meditation, or offering wisdom to others with compassion. When our actions align with our values and we live mindfully, every moment becomes sacred. In aging, this becomes even more important. Without purpose, days can become heavy, repetitive, or empty. But with purpose, time feels alive again. We wake up knowing that our presence matters, not just to others, but to ourselves. The Buddha often emphasized that life is precious, and even a single moment of mindfulness is a step toward awakening. This means that each day holds the opportunity for spiritual growth, reflection, and compassionate action. A sense of purpose also strengthens resilience. When life presents challenges, illness, loss, or loneliness, a clear inner direction helps us respond with wisdom rather than despair. It anchors us during uncertainty and brings light to difficult times. Whether it's spiritual practice, service, creativity, or simply being present for loved ones, the key is to live intentionally. Mindfulness allows us to see our life not as something we have lost or wasted, but as a continuous opportunity to evolve and awaken. As we age, this perspective becomes essential to maintaining peace of mind. It reminds us that every phase of life, including the final years, is meaningful. We are not here to merely pass time, we are here to deepen understanding, extend compassion, and walk gently on the earth. When we live with purpose, we feel more alive. We become more present, more grateful, and more accepting of impermanence. In this way, we age not in decline, but in awakening. So ask yourself, not what can I still do, but what still brings meaning to my heart. From there, let your days be shaped by that gentle calling. This is the essence of mindful living and the path to lasting inner peace. As we gently come to the end of this journey together, reflecting on the 5 essential things one should never lack in old age according to timeless Buddhist wisdom, may you find a sense of calm clarity settling in your heart. We began by exploring the value of maintaining good health and a strong mind, continued with the role of financial stability in nurturing peace of mind, embraced the deep importance of family bonds, looked into how meaningful friendships can prevent loneliness, and finally, we touched the soul-nourishing power of having a sense of purpose. All of these are not separate paths, but woven threads of a single tapestry, the path to inner peace, mindful aging, and spiritual growth. The Buddha taught that the quality of our life is not determined by how long we live or how much we possess, but by the state of our mind and the compassion we bring to each moment. As you walk forward on your own path, I invite you to carry this gentle wisdom with you. Let these reflections inspire your daily actions, your relationships, and your silent moments of thought. Now, if any part of this video touched your heart or reminded you of your own journey, please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story matters, whether it's a lesson learned through aging, a moment of struggle turned into strength, or a simple piece of advice for others walking a similar path. Your words might become someone else's light. This channel is a place of peaceful learning and human connection, and your presence here contributes to that shared space. If this video brought even a moment of peace to your heart, please share it with someone you care about, a parent, a friend, or anyone who might be walking through the quiet, sacred seasons of aging. Let us continue spreading calm and light in a world that deeply needs both. Thank you for spending this time with me, and until we meet again, may your path be guided by compassion, your heart remain open with gratitude, and your days unfold with quiet purpose and lasting peace.